think we're on and popping here. Even Ray Ray is running over to see what's doing. Hi, everybody. Looks like there's quite a few of you in here right now. What is up, family? Y'all, it's been an emotionally tumultuous 36 hours, 48 hours. What's up, everybody? My pussy stinks bad. You made it to a live before, because I remember the first time I ever saw you in a chat was on a live. It wasn't in the comments. And I was just like, well, you know, at least I'm finding my people. I mean, that username is truly unforgettable. Yeah, thank you, Amanda. I'm a little matchy-matchy with the pink and the red, but whatever. Yeah, I kind of have a lot of ground to cover, Esperance 02, so I feel like I should just jump into it because I have thoughts. Juvias, it's over for y'all hoes, said the internet nobody. But yes, happy Juneteenth, Alua. Shortly after I put up my video the other day about colorism, in which I tried the Juvia's Place foundation, I found out about a whole lot of mess. Let me break everything down for those of you who don't know. I'm not on Twitter, so I didn't know either at the time that I did my, try on whatever, my review or whatever. And I don't follow Juvia's Place on any social media because I straight up refused to buy from them for many years, basically since back in the day. Like, I've watched Tiff for years. I've mentioned her on my channel before as well. Her channel name is like Tiff Jeff 069 or some such. I've linked her videos in the description box as well about Juvia's, as well as some other helpful links that might hopefully kind of fill you guys in on everything we're going to talk about. But anyway, the main reason I heard about Juvia's in the first place was through Tiff's videos about the brand. I saw the whole thing play out with their shockingly bad customer service, ridiculously slow shipping times, a non-existent return policy, and worst of all, just like their extremely rude, out of line, condescending, unprofessional responses to customer inquiries whenever people would contact the company with a problem. Tiffany had supported the brand back then with her own money, and I think continued to do so on this like second try to make it work with them after she canceled them and then kind of forgave them. And, it was a small, Black-owned, nobody was checking for them type of brand. And supposedly the palettes were really good. So she was spending her own money on all of their eyeshadows. At the time, they didn't have the 5011 palettes that all kind of look the same that they have now. They only had a few at that time. And she was spending her own money on them, promoting them on her channel for free, yada, yada, yada. Now, Tiffany eventually asked Juvia's for an affiliate code or an affiliate link because she had sent so much business their way for free. And they basically told her no, and in a very rude fashion, if I'm correct. And Ray Ray's right here, actually. Ray Ray, come here. She doesn't believe me. She's just like, what are you going to do? Come on. I'm going to pick you up. She thought she was in trouble or something. Here she is. The dog is in the house. Anyway, so Tiffany, she got a no from Juvia's, and then I don't know if she was already receiving PR from them by the time she asked for that affiliate link, but at that point, she stopped receiving PR, and they also basically like shaded her, I think publicly, possibly on social media, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Cherry kept the thumbnail. You can probably tell if you recognize Uncle Ruckus, then you probably know where I'm going with my opinions on Juvia's Place. Anyway, it's like it's any business's prerogative to offer or to not offer an affiliate program. However, it clearly tends to more often than not behoove the company and the influencer. I mean, if we take Morphe as perhaps the most famous example, I feel like that is affiliate codes and links gone wrong because they've been abused and just sort of encouraged a culture of lying about products, Jaclyn Hill. But anyway, with affiliate links and codes, like not only do the customers get to save a bit of money, and in an amount that overall doesn't generally affect the company's bottom line unless you have a really terrible business model. But the brand is then able to build organic relationships with influencers like Tiff, who again had already been supporting Juvia's with her own money. So frankly, if someone is getting you business, the correct thing to do is essentially pay that person some type of commission, throw them a few coins. It's more or less standard practice, whether we're talking Nordstrom or frickin' Lovingtan or whatever the hell these influencers always have their links and codes for in these description boxes. Juvia's, however, gave no fucks about building relationships with Tiffany or any other Black influencers with modest and, as it turned out, large followings, because as things continued to develop, we found out that they just didn't seem to want to work with any Black influencers at all. Because after that dust up with Tiffany, there was the dust up with Alyssa Ashley. And she did a rant video a few years back, which she took down almost immediately, but I happened to get to see it. I would think I was just home right around the time that she put it up. So I wasn't doing anything. And I think she must have gotten a lot of backlash for it because it wasn't up for more than a couple hours, maybe even an hour, if that. Anyway, in that video from, however many years ago, I think it was before I even had Ray Ray, who's going to be 3 years old in like 3 weeks or so. Ray Ray, you're squirming too much. I'm going to put you down. But anyway, I think it was back from before I even had my dog. So it was a while ago. But Alyssa reiterated a lot of the things that Tiffany had already said in her videos. And Alyssa had a few 100,000 subscribers by this point. So she definitely had what was considered a pretty big following even then, probably especially then, because I think as the YouTube pool has grown, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 doesn't mean what it used to. Anyway, this was before we had, really any Black makeup influencers with over 1 million. We've got a couple now, but at this time, like even Jackie Aina was still under 1 million. I'm 99% sure. So that should give you some context of just how long this problem or this brand has been problematic. The point is, like, some people thought that when Alyssa put up that video that she was coming off as really whiny and entitled. But the gist of her video was that Juvia's was being, once again, really rude and condescending to her about sending her PR for some new palette they were launching, because Alyssa was already on their PR list. And I only remember this because in the video, she was showing screenshots from her texting with the owner of Juvia's. And Alyssa was explaining that an important part of PR is sending products to these booty gurus before the actual product launch. And Juvia's was just being really snide, both publicly and in this like private message between the two of them. And they also kept confusing Alyssa with her sister Arnell. I remember her saying all sorts of shit until Juvia's eventually just told her to fuck off, more or less. They kicked her off their PR. And that was why Alyssa made the video that she wound up taking down. Okay, Ham, I'm going to have to check out Tina's video because I do watch Tina and she's one of the few people who actually, I feel like she says what she means and she means what she says on this platform. The last of a dying breed, it seems. Anyway, just so that I can make sure I can fill everyone in, because I don't think everyone necessarily knows this messy history of this brand. Juvia's entire come up came from Black people supporting the brand and Black YouTubers promoting the brand. And it became abundantly clear that they didn't seem to want any Black people's money, or rather, they'd happily take your money, but they don't want to be associated with the Black makeup community. And as this became I think the real nail in the coffin was when shortly after that, Nikki Tutorials and some other white influencers with big followings really started promoting Juvia's Place. And suddenly Juvia's did have the ability to send PR prior to a launch and not after it, or not at all. Suddenly Juvia's did have the budget to offer affiliate codes. Suddenly Juvia's did have a budget to do sponsored videos and posts. Whether or not those posts were actually disclosed as sponsored is another story, but you get my point. The point is, they somehow just didn't have that budget to offer to Black influencers. Until now, some 3 years later, when they needed those, you people, they needed those influencers to promote the launch of this foundation and the concealer that went along with it, and it worked. I mean, it worked on me. I saw You Love Megs and some other Black influencers popping up in my feed singing the praises of this product launch. And I guess it was extremely naive, but it simply hadn't occurred to me that it wasn't a matter of Juvia's trying to right their past wrongs by sending PR to influencers of color finally. In reality, it just came down to the fact that now they needed Black YouTube to promote their complexion products. Yeah. Oh my God, Alexa, see, that's trash. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You paid for expedited shipping and it still took over 2 weeks to get to you. Come on. In any event, like Juvia's Place is like, they've done this whole rollout with all these Black influencers on this foundation launch. And that's only because white people are not checking for foundations like that. We all know that there is a plethora of foundations for our fairer complected individuals already, and there always have been. So it's just not that serious. But people of color have a different situation. Our options have always been much, 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 much more limited, as exemplified by the fact that the most buzz about foundation launches in the past several years, the only way to get some real juice on social media with a complexion product launch is to make sure you cater to people of color. It's complexion clout, essentially. And that is why Juvia's Place is finally reaching out to Jackie Aina now, though she obviously declined reviewing their foundation, as well as working with the brand in any capacity. I think Juvia's even had the gall to reach out to Alyssa Ashley on this launch, which, if true, is fucking brazen. Yeah, I think you're onto something, Muna, because I know a lot of people have had similar feelings about Shea Moisture and how they built their company off of Black women, and then they didn't seem to want to have anything to do with us once they achieved their status that they have now. Yeah. So anyway, like that kind of catches us up. It's just like after all these years, I finally had decided to give Juvia's Place a chance, like I'd given them the benefit of the doubt, only to find out that I'd been hoodwinked, bamboozled, run amok. And as if that weren't enough, and this is the part that really leaves me mystified, is the Jeffree Star bootlicking. Y'all, the trolling, the coonery jumped out. I mean, self-hatred is such a massive problem amongst us as Black people. I mean, hello, colorism. We just talked about this. But the behaviors of this brand owner evoke a profound, deep self-hatred, in my opinion. I mean, that's just if you ask me, and nobody did. And evidently, Jeffree Star did purchase the Juvia's Foundation and then gave it a positive review. So they were thanking him on all over their social media, like, thank you so much. We love you, Jeffree Star, that kind of thing. And on the one hand, I can objectively understand why a brand would be happy about that. It's business. He's one of the top 2 makeup influencers in the game right now, and his endorsement does translate into a lot of dollars. On the other hand, ethics, remember those? Ever heard of them? I mean, do you honestly want an endorsement from a man who thinks it's funny to repeatedly insult Black women and use racial slurs? If you're Juvia's Place, I guess you do. If you're Juvia's Place, I guess you see no issue with aligning with the man who called a Black woman a gorilla recently. And incidentally, that's the same woman whose endorsement they were begging for and whose endorsement would carry a hell of a lot of weight for them. So it's just really like, it makes no sense whatsoever. I'm not going to get into the long list of incidents where Jeffree Star's bigotry has been made abundantly clear to us. I was just so appalled to learn that Juvia's Place was shouting him out that way. And the people who keep saying, oh, at least they didn't send him PR, they didn't send him the foundation, he bought it himself. Like, Who gives a shit? You are missing the point entirely. And it hurts because seeing the way that Juvia's Place has treated these Black influencers versus how they've treated white ones, seeing them promote Jeffree Star, it hurts me as a Black woman. It hurts me as a Black YouTuber. Just don't call me no damn influencer though. I mean, I've talked about some of my own issues that I have with these booty gurus and influencers and how they have selective outrage over what certain brands do and what other brands don't do. But that doesn't somehow relieve Juvia's Place of their responsibilities as a brand, or at least what I think their responsibilities are as a consumer and internet loudmouth. An influencer being wrong for one thing doesn't somehow make Juvia's Place right for this. So it's a false equivalency. And obvious fuckingly, this is all just my opinion, but Juvia's Place and I are done once and forever this time. I found my receipt for this foundation to take it back to Ulta. And I did also buy this palette, the Zulu palette from Ulta, like, I don't know when, but I checked my receipt and it's like 5 days out of the returns period. So I may try to return it just for store credit. I don't know. What I do know is these are the only items from Juvia's that I will ever own, period. I mean, it took me years to give them the benefit of the doubt and to finally give them another chance. And now they are completely out of chances with me. Yeah. I agree with you, Maria. I mean, that is not an excuse nor a reason to align with a well-documented racist and bigot. Like, the fact that he is the biggest influencer is a problem in and of itself. There's more than one way to achieve success. So who you align with is completely up to you. Positively Udo, I don't know if you're watching this, girl. She's done a video on Juvia's as well. She left a comment under my video where I tried the foundation, and in her video, she takes the opposite perspective to mine, the one I'm giving you right now. So you may want to check out her video. I've already linked it in the description box. Udo is Nigerian, as is Chi Chi, or whatever that woman who runs Juvia's Places. So positively Udo, she does offer a different take on the whys of Juvia's Place and their business practices. And she kind of goes into how the attitudes and practices of a Nigerian business owner may not necessarily be the same as that of a Black American. And like, that's why Juvia's Place like is the way it is. But here's the thing about that. Like, we're not in Nigeria. And more to the point, Juvia's Place isn't in Nigeria. I mean, some of you guys might be in Nigeria, but Juvia's Place isn't in Nigeria. The business was grown here mainly by Black American customers, initially at least. And I do know that they're available internationally and yada, yada, yada. But it says on the back of this palette right here, designed and formulated in USA. This one says it's got an address in New Jersey for Juvia's Place on the back of it. So obviously the business is based here in the United States. So if I, as an American, were to go to another country to start a business, I'm not going to have the arrogance to think that it isn't worth educating myself on the culture and attitudes of the place where I'm trying to establish my business. I'm not going to repeatedly disrespect my client base and somehow think that because my perspective is different from theirs, it's their problem. Like, I don't understand that at all. It's just not a strong argument to me to say Nigerians are different and have that somehow eradicate all of the fuckery that this company has been involved with. I mean, in the end, the only perspective that you can have is your own, but it is important to try to understand other perspectives, and failure to even try is why we have so much division in the world as it is on both large and small issues. And most of y'all already know that I'm not one to jump on any bandwagons whatsoever. I always stay away from hive mind behavior on social media. So I really wanted to take a moment to think about this. Thank you, Pajama Girl. I would not pull this. Not an excuse. See, I mean, you're validating my thoughts too, because I feel like this doesn't have to do with culture. It has to do with ethics and just, I don't know, just what is right and what is wrong, in my opinion. I mean, we can't control how we feel. We can only control how we respond. And time again, Juvia's Place has made the choice to respond in ways that are deplorable, in my opinion. So unfortunately, watching Udo's video didn't sway me. In fact, it low-key made me cement my decision to write off Juvia's Place, to be perfectly candid with you guys, because I didn't want to take like a good day to think about it. But again, that's just me. As always, I plead for independent thought on this and all matters that we discuss in these family meetings, because we're never all going to agree on everything. That's life. That's human nature. I just know that I'm never going to feel good about using this foundation. Like anytime I pick it up, I already know it's going to have me feel in some type of way. I'm just disappointed. You know, like supporting Black businesses is important to me, not just in life, but on my channel. But what I won't do is support a business only because it is a Black business, you know? Like, especially when they continue to use growth tactics that are suspect at best and outright disrespectful and wrong at worst. So there are a lot of Black businesses that I don't support. Some I've even used on this channel in the past and then had a bad customer service experience or some such later, and I just stopped discussing them. Like, rather than talking shit about brands that I've tried that are Black owned that I don't like, I just don't talk about them at all, whether I've mentioned them in the past or not. But yeah, you know, regardless of any businesses that I don't support, Juvia's Place is now one of them. Oh, what's up, Black Barbie? Yeah, Juvia's Place is back on that bullshit again, perhaps worse than ever before. Yeah, Jamila. I mean, I'm definitely going to return this because this is still within the return period. This one we'll see, but if I can't return this for store credit, this will be the only thing that I will ever own from Juvia's Place. I'm not going to like throw it out of spite. That only cuts off your nose to spite your own face. That's stupid. Yeah, same Pimenza. Yeah, I feel the same way about Shea Moisture because, you know, I have quite a backstock of Shea Moisture, and I didn't really feel that them selling the company was the nail in the coffin for me per se, because I don't really have a problem with you selling your company and, you know, having that kind of success where you can actually sell your company for such a big price tag. It was the fact that they sold it to Unilever. And then the way the company has sort of pivoted to not necessarily be for us in a way, you know, like I don't feel like there's anything wrong with expanding your audience, but I don't feel like you need to forsake your core audience to bring in a new one. I feel like that's just messed up. iMac, I did not say how the foundation ended up wearing throughout the day. I think it wore pretty well. I don't remember looking especially oily. I don't really remember it breaking down or oxidizing. I thought it was actually a pretty good foundation, especially for the price. And the color match is one of the best I've ever had, but I will always feel salty every time I pick this up. So it's going. Yeah, Ken's MB. Carol's daughter did the same thing before Shea Moisture did. My issue was I never liked Carol's daughter products in the first place. I had purchased from them, I think, at the very beginning of me trying to like figure out what product worked for my hair and stuff. So they were still Black owned back then. This was like 2010 or so. And I was just like, this is expensive as fuck. It must be good. Like that was the way my mind worked back then. And they were some of the worst products I've ever used on my hair. So after that, I just basically never bothered with Carol's daughter again. I agree with you, Natalie. Like, it's bad business in every possible way. Like, what are you thinking? Is Garnier coming for the black coins? I haven't even noticed, Paulette. Be Buff, are there any deep conditioners I'm loving right now? I mean, I have my same old ones that I've talked about in my ride or die videos. I've done 2 of those. So those are still my favorites, which is why I haven't done an update in at least a year on ride or dies. Trying to think, what did I use on my last wash day? I think I did a kitchen sink conditioner on my last. I think I had like a few things that were almost out and I combined them all. And those always end up being the best deep conditioners anyway, which is really annoying because you can't ever have that exact thing again. But I have noticed that like cheapy conditioners have been doing right by me too. I did that world's cheapest wash day video and that herbal essences with some oil in it. Chef's kiss. Yeah, Be Buff. In those, I really like, if you want to spend money, which who does, but you can always try Bakura, AKA or FKA, Basque Beauty. I like their cacao deep conditioner. That's protein free. And then they have the whiskey restorative hair soap, which does contain protein. I like both of those. Another really good protein conditioner on my, again, these are all just on my hair. So as always, I'm saying what works for me and your mileage may vary, yada, yada, yada. I love, another protein conditioner I like is the Curl Junkie Repair Me. That one's like a pretty hardcore protein conditioner. What else do I like? Oh, I like the She Scented avocado conditioner, but I tend to use that one more as a leave-in rather than a rinse out. And I also like the She Scented restorative mask. It comes in a jar with a pink and like orange label. And I did a video on that. It's called something like YouTube's most slept on deep conditioner. And I'm like holding the jar but covering the label. That video, I think, is the one where I go in depth on that She Scented conditioner that I really like. Oh yeah, JoJo, the TGIN honey deep conditioner. I forget what it's called. That one's really, really good. And that one's at Target. Thank you, Leah. That's so sweet. Alexandra, I have not tried Miche Beauty. I've never tried it. I see it at Target all the time. Oh, no. That's Mayel. Mayel is the one I see at Target. I haven't tried that either. Miche Beauty, I want to try because my girl Ghana Goddess, she really likes their stuff, but I haven't tried it yet. My pussy stinks. I'm just reading the origin story of your screen name. I don't know who you were answering to, but I like having that information. Tamira, I have not tried the Natural 85 products yet, only because she was clever with that free shipping threshold, because it's just above what it would need to be to ship free if you buy just the twisting cream and just the oil. So then you have to buy a third thing. And there wasn't anything else I wanted. Like I did not, I mean, no tea, no shade. I do not want that scarf or that visor. No, ma'am. So I'm hoping maybe she'll do like that sounds so shady, but I'm just being honest. I'm hoping she does some kind of like promotion maybe around the holidays where she'll ship for cheaper or things will go on sale. And maybe I'll just get like 2 of something and do a giveaway, like buy 2 jars and then give away 1 to you guys or something. But yeah, it was just like a little too rich for my blood to get that free shipping threshold, because I detest 2 things in life that I hate paying for more than anything are shipping and parking. Fuck that. Perpetual K, I mean, listen, I understand what you're saying. This is not the only problem, them acknowledging Jeffree Star. In fact, I spent a good 15, 20 minutes of going through all of the problems with this brand. So it's not just them acknowledging Jeffree Star. That was the nail in the coffin for me. And, you know, I don't believe cancel culture is real. It's bullshit. It's something that people like to do on a slow news day. So you, of course, are, I mean, if you want to continue supporting them, you go, Glen Coco. But I'm just saying, I don't feel good about it. Thank you, Virginia. Thank you so much. I don't feel good about it. It just really irks me. It hurts me, as I said, as a Black woman, as a Black YouTuber. And I get it. You know, she's Nigerian. It's different. That doesn't change it for me. That it just doesn't. Oh, thank you, Irene. Irene, I heard that, I think African Hair God, who quit doing hair videos and then recently came back, which I only learned about from one of you guys. So thanks for telling me. He did a video on the Twisted Cream and he said it left a slight film, but he was like, not in a bad way. So I think maybe depending on your hair, it's a good or a bad thing. And I guess for you, it was bad. Thank you, Abby. Ooh, Canadian money. Yeah, Abby, I do live streams kind of sporadically lately. I did do them weekly when I was doing Vlogmas. I would do one every Sunday, but I was thinking about maybe getting more on a schedule with doing them. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to force it. I feel like if I have something to talk about like I do today, then it's always a good thing to just hop on and talk to you guys live. And I was really excited to just talk to you guys live because I feel like it's been a minute and I miss you guys. There's something more fun about the live streams compared to an edited video. Lisa Rose, I don't think you listened to anything I said. I mean, I've already established that I support quite a lot of Black brands on my channel, but I'm not going to support a Black brand only because it is Black when they have extremely shitty business practices. Thank you, Cyrita. Diva Den, I'm with you. Crappy customer service. I don't care what color you are. We're done here. And that was the initial issue with Juvia's Place, was consistently repeated reports of abhorrent, not just bad, abhorrent customer service. And then it was just one thing after another, just one thing after another. It kept happening. I was just like, what is this? Thank you, Shiva, you guys. What is going on with all these super chats? I mean, just because a brand is owned by a white person or white people doesn't mean that they deserve to not get my money when they have better business practices, customer service, better treatment of various shades of people in their social media, or however, you know, social media or not. I mean, I'm kind of focused on the influencer relationships here, but there are many brands who don't really play that game at all. They kind of just keep quiet, mind their business, and put out great products. And white or Black owned, if the customer service is correct and I feel like the brand is not problematic, I don't really prioritize the fact that it's white being a reason for me not to support it. That doesn't make any sense to me. Yes, Fabuloso, you said it much more succinctly and better than I just did. I would rather support a white brand that does not go out of its way to support problematic people than a Black brand that supports racists. Spot on. That sums it up perfectly. Thank you, Maria. Thank you so much. I don't know what currency is this? COP. Alexia, I touched on that issue when I was saying, you know, when I was talking about selective outrage a little earlier. I mean, listen, I think it's possible for more than one person to be wrong. I am often wrong in my life, and I don't think that's right either. Because like Too Faced is another brand that's not getting my money after that Rich Lives Matter cake. So I do think it's a bit peculiar to suddenly be so upset about racism there, but not in another instance. But that also doesn't make Juvia's place right. Yeah, Fabuloso. I met the women behind Lip Bar at a makeup like trade show, I guess. I even did a video on it like 3 or 4 years ago. It was called Fame Expo. And I did the video because I wanted to talk about Lip Bar. Like I met them there. It's just like, oh, this is a Black-owned business. You guys should check it out. At that time, they were only online, I believe. But I was so happy to see them pop up in my local Target. Yeah, I agree with you, Meredith. Yeah, Paulette, I think it's good that Target is definitely starting to carry more Black-owned lines, and as well just small lines too, like Makeup Geek, I think is in Target now, and some other stuff too. Oh, Colombian peso. Okay. You're right, Irene. All right, it's already 6:30. I was only going to keep you guys for like half an hour or so because I know some people do not like watching long live streams, especially on a replay. Muna, damn. No, Shinette, Makeup Geek is not Black owned, but it's a small business. That's the only reason I brought them up because I'm happy to see Target carrying Black owned and small owned businesses, like independent businesses. You're not allowed to leave. All right, you guys, thank you so much for all these super chats. Y'all are crazy. I'm gonna throw that into my fund though to get my trainer certification renewed. But I'm gonna go. I gotta walk this dog and feed her, and I'm schwitzing, so I need to blot my face. It's very hot today. I should not have worn a sweatshirt. But thanks for listening to me rant. We'll see if I decide to keep this up or not. And I will see y'all later. Bye.